What's up, YouTube? All right, so check this out. We're finna go over a few different documents that can help aid and assist and help satisfy some worry and concern I've been seeing a lot of people have while going towards the journey of becoming private citizens or American nationals or whatever you want to call yourself. A lot of people are worried about or have questions as if with this process or will them claiming certain status and reserving certain rights interfere with current employment or future employment. And the answer to that question is no, it shouldn't. And it shouldn't because there are things and laws to back up your standing and your rights to not have to disclose your social security number, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day when operating uh, as a secure party or a private bank or whatever you want to call yourself. Ultimately, if you're operating in the world in the matrix, uh, and you decide to completely unplug, meaning you decide not to operate, you decide to operate without the social security number, and you decide to operate by way of foreign EIN, foreign trust identification numbers, or private banking numbers, but you still, are tied up to a job or may need to get a job at one point. Who knows? Who knows what the case scenario may end up being. So, just in case, of course, you need to have some type of solution of support base of resources to be able to refer back to in the event that you have a problem with a potential employer or a current employer. Now, these documents that I'm going to show you guys first is I call these the 4 Ps. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. Now, this is actually a 1040 correction. I'm not gonna go over this too much, but this is a 1040 correction. It's called the 1040X. So this is used when, let's say, you become a secure party or whatever, and you get into filing 1099s or doing other administrative remedies. Um, at that point, you should know that you can no longer, or should no longer, it's not recommended that you continue filing uh, 1040s, and filling out W-2 forms and stuff like that, or W-4 forms, stuff like that, because you are no longer in taxpayer status. Okay. So, but if you happen to have filed accidentally or previously, you wanted to correct that status in that filing, you'll use the 1040X. But we're not gonna get into that in that video. So the first P we're gonna check out is the P2. Actually, we're gonna skip the P1. Well, we'll go over quick. Here goes the P1, and I call it the P1. It's actually quite hard to find this document for some reason. Uh, I don't know what that reason is, but I do have these saved and available. So of course you see P1 at the left hand side of the screen. Now this is reasonable cause affidavit by payer for not obtaining payees identification numbers. Okay, it says employers, payers name and address, and employer identification number. I blank being an officer of blank hereby state that I have asked for the identification number of the employee blank who has declined to provide identification number. I am filing this affidavit in accordance to 26 USC 66724. Waiver of penalty assessed under the code up shown reasonable cause and Treasury Regulation Act. I certify this information stated here correct. Blase, blah, blase, blah, blase, blah. Now, this form will be used by the employee against you. So, but if you have a problem with the employer, this is what you will use. Because you might have an employer that has a problem with you not disclosing your social security number. By law, you are not required to disclose your social security number. That's your private identification number. Now, here's the form P2, which is entitled Citizen's Notice of Employment Eligibility. In lieu of I.N.S form 1-9 employment verification. Employment eligibility verification. So this ties into another document we're about to look at shortly. Now, plain and simple, it's a short document. Name and address of citizen. I don't like the word citizen, but well, whatever. Name and address of notice recipient, which would be the employer. This stating that I blank your name, certify that I am a free citizen of the state, and blank, and am in all ways free and authorized to work in any state of the United States by the right of my natural citizenship. I certify that the foregoing information stated here is true and correct. Citizen signature and date. I would definitely sign this with UCC 1-308 without prejudice, because I don't like the word citizen being stated here. But it does say citizen of the state. But I wish it would have said state citizen. There's little stuff like that we do have to acknowledge and be aware of and pay attention to. So because of that, we don't know if they're tying in words or using word perversion to kind of trip us up. So always reserve your rights within a contract if you're using any document, especially if it's theirs. Now, at the bottom, it states the law at the bottom. Federal Law 8, U.S. Constitution, Section 1324-8, it is unlawful for a person or other entity to hire or recruit or refer a fee or refer for a fee for employment in the United States, an alien knowing the alien is an unauthorized alien with respect to such employment, to hire for employment in the United States an individual without complying with the requirements of subsection B of this section, or 2, if the person or entity is an agricultural association, agriculture employer, or farm labor contract to hire or recruit of the fee or refer for a fee. For employment in the United States, individual without complying with the requirements of subsection B of this section. Verification of employment, A, general. This section states that requirements and procedures, persons or entities, the word persons or entities, they're still dealing with the corporation, must comply with when hiring. They're not talking about you. Remember, they're not talking about you when they're referring to a person or entity, because a person is an entity as well. A person is not a flesh and blood man or woman. So be careful with that too. Don't let these words confuse you or fool you. They just stating the facts of other facts related to if you were a corporation or still labeled as a corporation. What the hell? Okay. So let's go back. You guys can read that. Let's go to P3. P3 is also citizen's notice of employment eligibility. Also in lieu of Form 1-9 eligibility, employment eligibility verification. Once again, name and address of citizen, and as well as name and address of notice recipient. I blank certify that I'm a free citizen of the state of, and I am in all ways free and authorized to work in any state of the United States by the right of my natural citizenship. I certify that foregoing information stated here is true and correct. Your signature, UCC 1-308. That's just my opinion. And then the date. Now here goes the legal warrant, notice, and warning. Federal laws provide that it is a crime to violate. Now this is important. Now this is what backs you up. It's federal law. Now no, keep in mind this is going to that employer that denied you employment because you you refuse to disclose your assigned social security number, your assigned private social security number. Federal law provides that it is a crime to violate the rights of citizens under the color of law. Okay? You can be arrested for this crime and you can also be held liable for civil damages. Federal Regulations CFR Section 274A 2 restricts the use INS Form 19 to certain employers involving the use of agricultural workers. The 1-9 form has no other application and is not authorized for use with natural citizens of the United States. I notice of service. I certify that I personally delivered this notice to the above recipient on the address on such and such date and time. And at the bottom is the laws and stuff like that follow. All right, something to take a look into. Now let's go to P4. Come on. All right, here goes the P4. Comptroller General's Office, employees withholdings and deductions. Department name, number, social security number, XYZ, XYZ. Now, here goes the W4. You see, it's right below it. So this is like an attachment. But notice the difference to this form. Employees withholding allowance certificate. Now this is used if you want to tailor any type of deductions to be coming out of your check and stuff like that. Now this is a form that could be useful if you decide to go a certain route. But me personally, I will leave that one out of the equation and stick with the P2 and P3 document, if anything. Okay, now check this out. This is the Department of Treasury Internal Revenue Service. So this form 3949. Use this form to report suspected tax law violations by personal business. So this is what we can use in a situation where we believe a company is being utilizing fraudulent activities, against us or against yourself, against its employees, or against any corporation that you have some sort of contract with that you find to be in fraud or violation of tax violations. Now, let's check out this. So, name of individual, basic information, name of business, employee tax identification. Now, let's take a look at section B. which describes the alleged violation of the income tax law. Now, check all that apply. So when we're dealing with these agencies or corporations, they will typically follow up under these violations. Organized crime, because we're dealing with an organization, so it'd be an organizational uh, tax law violation. Um, Shit, fault. So that would if they're illegally taking money and taking taxes out your check or your bank account or whatever the case is, if it's the IRS, um, dealing with any type of levies and stuff like that, shit, false deductions, false exemptions. Let's see, shit, public and political corruption, false and altered documents. I believe a lot of that shit is going on, uh, which contract us into fraudulent systems. So unreported income. I believe it's a lot of these organizations and agencies that are not properly reporting taxes, especially the judicial system with all of these court cases. Um, Kickback. Damn, they got kickbacks. I wouldn't be surprised. Some companies are not filing returns or not properly filing returns, and failure to pay tax. I know the courts definitely don't pay tax. They make the people liable for the taxes of each case, which is fraudulent right there. Has the instructions here below. I mean, like I said, it's something to look at. I personally not worried about this issue. You know, but if you guys looking for options, things to look into, that could be a valuable options. Now, notice when we was looking at the P2s and P3s documents that it was referring to the form, INS form 1-9 or I-9, which refers back to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Isn't that something? Okay, where's the format? Now let's go out of this. Here it goes right here. Check out the paper version. Okay. Employment eligibility verification. What's it say at the top? Anti-discrimination notice. It is illegal to discriminate against work authorized individuals. Employers cannot specify which documents an employee may present to establish employment authorizing identity. An employee may present to So they say employers cannot specify which documents an employee may present to establish employment authorization of an identity, which means you present to them whatever you need to, whatever you damn well please to verify your identity. You're not required to present your social security number or your social security card. That's the main thing that ties us into these other contracts and liabilities within the contract. Now, the refusal to, we're still reading the top, the refusal to hire or continue to employ an individual because the documentation presented has a future expiration date may constitute an illegal discrimination. Now, you see this at the top. Employees must complete and sign Section 1 of Form I-9 no later than the first day of employment, but not before accepting the job offer. So you accept the job offer, and then you complete this immediately, same day. At least that's what the damn form says. But do your own due diligence. Okay, now I'm gonna skip down. I'm aware that federal law provides um, for imprisonment or fines for false statements or use of false documents in connection with the completion of this form. Be very careful. These are sworn affidavits. Now it says number one, a citizen. I attest under penalty of perjury that I am a citizen of the United States. I am a non-citizen national of the United States. Then see instructions. I am a lawful permanent resident. I am an alien authorized to work until expiration date. Now, notice this. If this form, if this form was only related to one particular type of citizen, they wouldn't be giving you options to declare your status right here. It wouldn't be an option to let them know, like, hey, I am a citizen, or hey, I'm a non-citizen national. I'm an American national of the United States. That's an option. That's an option. So what is so just on a glancing at the first few sections of this form, this clearly seems to be an excellent form of status correction, in my opinion, that goes directly to the U.S. Department of State, which Department of Homeland Security, which overrides any motherfucking employer, or corporation when dealing with these issues of employment. Now, notice this. They have three sections here. Either your alien registration number, the form I-94 admission number, or your foreign passport number. All right. Your signature. Always observe your rights within the signature, just in case of certain clauses and terms and conditions within this contract, or contract that you don't fully understand or lawfully understand. Now to say employer completes the next page, which means this next page is going to that employer. I'm gonna skip that. Skip down to this section, which I know is to be pretty interesting. List of acceptable documents. All documents must be unexpired. Employees may present one section from list A, or a combination of one selection from list B and one selection from list C. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's scan through A. Now I'm just doing this as if it was me, and I need to use this document for whatever reason. Me knowing my status and what I need to stand on to back up my claim. Let's see, U.S. passport or U.S. passport card. No, permanent resident card. I don't really trust that permanent resident Foreign passport that contains temporary. Yeah, I got a foreign passport. Anything foreign is something that they didn't create. Remember that. I got two foreign passports. So that's one right there. Okay, employment authorization document. Now that's form I-766. We need to research that. We're gonna look at that in a second. For a non-immigrant alien authorized to work for a specific employer because of his or her status. A foreign passport and form I-94 with the same name as the passport. All right, so in my case, I would use number three. I would use number three for section A. So that means I can clear myself from with if I just chose to choose one from section A, I can use that because one of my foreign passports uh, would have both of my government two additional government IDs attached to the passport. So that'll be like a triple form of identification right there in one. Now, list B, driver's license, no. ID card issued by federal state, no. School ID card, voters registration, hell no. Military card, hell no. All this other stuff is dealing with now Native American tribal document. Yeah. So if I was to choose anything, it would be number 8. Because I damn sure claim my tribal part of myself. So I would select A. I mean number 8. Now section C, a social security account number. No. Certification of report of birth issued by the Department of State. Forms DS 1350, FS 545, FS 240. We're gonna look those up. Original or certified copy of birth certificate issued by a state, county, municipal authority, or territory of the United States bearing official seal. Now I wouldn't mind doing that because my birth certificate is authenticated. Or number 4, a Native American tribal document. I'm going Native American tribal document all day though. I ain't gonna lie. Why not? Why even chance it? If you don't have to. U.S. citizen ID card. Hell no. Nah. Now, number 6 says identification card for use of resident citizen in the United States. I wouldn't mind that. I had to look into that. So if that's saying that I can use one of my American national IDs for use of resident citizen in the United States, then I'll be all good with that too. And number 7 can apply as well. All right, so I wrote these down. Let me make sure. Yeah, now let me form 197. All right, so let's do some research real quick. want to check out Form DS 1350. Documents establishing U.S. citizenship and an identity. Permanent resident. Acceptable. Let's check these out. Employees must provide documentation to their employers to show their identity and authorization to work. Lists all documents. U.S. passport or passport card. Now, I still have my regular U.S. passport, and I'm definitely still gonna get a U.S. passport card. It's one thing about this when I first seen this. These I posted and advertised in our post office, like right there on the damn door, but we walk past it every day. And what's funny about this thing is the fact that, for one, it's a ID card. First of all, the passport has always been the ultimate travel document for identification. But if you look at the surname, it says traveler. I think that's very symbolic that they put that there. It's like we got to look at stuff like that as being, because a lot of the answers are in our face. United States Department of State, traveler. Look, check this out too. Nationality. Interesting. Nationality. Okay. Just a little interesting. Permanent resident. Permanent resident. Employment authorization. These are different passports from the different governments. Foreign passport containing a form I-55 551 stamp. See that? Visa. Okay. Now that's just for entertainment purposes that we're looking at that. So apply for your birth certificate or replacement online. American Immigration Center. U.S. birth certificates are issued to individuals born in the U.S. and to those who are born abroad to the U.S. parent. Birth certificate, sometimes known as birth license, can be used to prove U.S. citizenship. See here. U.S. citizenship, U.S. green card, U.S. passport, visa. Okay, so that's what the DS-240 is pretty much about. DS-240. Let's check out the DS. $13.50. Okay. Treat as the same as, okay, the 14, the FS 545. Okay. Still dealing with the same. I guess so. These are basically different forms. So that just depends on what status you came into the United States as, determines which form that you would apply for. All right, so we got that taken care of. Now I want to see what the form I-179 is. Okay. Was issued by the INS to U.S. citizens who are residents. Okay. U.S. Social Security account number card. Certifications of birth. Okay, so that's what the FS 545 is for the birth certificate. Certification of report of birth issued by the Department of State. Now this is different. So this is the DS 350. United States of America. Department of State. Certification of birth. And interestingly, look what it has at the top right. Same thing that's on the dollar bill. That's very interesting. Bond numbers at the top. Hmm. Hmm. U.S. state citizen. This is this is to certify that the birth of blank born at was registered with the Consular Service of the United States and that's the report. Shoot. Hmm. So this is what the birth certificate looks like for people that weren't born in the United States. I bet they monetizing the shit out these. That shit says state citizen on a damn document. Report of birth. So this is FS 240. What the fuck is this? Now this is an interesting looking document right there. I wanna look at a better version of that. Birth certificate. Only an original or certified copy of a birth certificate issued by a state, country, or municipal authority, or outlining possession of the United States that bears an official seal is acceptable. They say beginning October 31st, 2010, only Puerto Rico birth certificates issued on or after 1 July 1st, 2010 are valid. U.S. identification card. So this is the IS. I need to copy this one. U.S. citizen identification card. Some more immigration. So this is immigration and naturalization. Resident citizen. No longer issued as well. Okay. But it's still valid, huh? Activating a trusted traveler card. To activate your card, you need to migrate your data from the old goals to the new TTP system. Instructions can be found here. And remember, create a login. A login.gov account. Do not use your goals credentials. You need to register a new account and to provide biographical information in the PSAID membership under form application of membership. You can find this number on the back of your card, 9 digits. I'm gonna look more into that just in case it's something I need to know. Alright, well, I'm gonna shut down this video. Still digging for some stuff. So hopefully you guys have a better understanding of potential options that you can take. The point is there are options out there. You just have to prep yourself, plan to strategize your different procedures while operating out here. Know what you want to do, know what you don't want to do, know how you want to stand, and know how you don't want to stand. and just find something to back up those claims, and always reserve your rights within the contract, no matter what. Peace out. Like, subscribe, follow, comment, share, the whole 9 yards, and hit that bell button to receive those notifications. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to go to sleep. Till next time.